for this kind of business in this town, to be an owner-operated record store, really, where people know who they're supporting and what they're supporting when they come in, and they, the guy behind the counter more often than not is the guy who's you're supporting with your money, and you can talk to, and it's not some corporate thing or whatever. I don't think I would have attempted to open a record store in any other town. A lot of our store has to do with familiarity with the culture of Bloomington and with the people, and I sell records to people who have been buying records from me for almost 10 years now, just as I worked in other stores, and they followed me here, which is nice. There's loyalty in that. There are people who don't come into record stores, and I don't think there's anything I can do to change that. I could be the best record store in the world, and there's certain people who just aren't going to come in here. So I try not to worry about it too much.
I'll start with digital. It's easy. It's inexpensive. It's just much easier to edit. It's much easier to put together. Analog is more expensive, but it just sounds cooler.
I can tell you we wouldn't be in business if we didn't sell vinyl. We wouldn't be in business if we didn't sell CD. It's a big chunk, but both things sell really well. There are people who come in who only look at vinyl. There are people who come in and only look at CDs, and there are people who are, omnivores about it somewhat. We're doing well. We're paying our bills. We're surviving. I can tell you that I get asked that sort of question a lot, and it's usually by people who don't really come in here and aren't really record store people. There's this very alarmed, kind of worried tone in there, like, I heard record stores aren't doing really well. And it's always by people who don't really support it. It's like, well, why do you care? It's nice to know that people care enough that they're worried, and it makes headlines when record stores go out of business, because people care about record stores on some level still, even if they don't support them anymore. It's like this nostalgia factor or something.
I actually just went to Tracks or something on Kirkwood the other day, but I didn't purchase it.
There are people who come in here all the time and buy CDs and records, and they don't worry about it. They do it because they like record stores and they like being in a record store.
There's something about getting a 7-inch pressed or a 12-inch pressed, and the artwork and just having that.
They like the tangible thing they buy too, but they also like the experience of being in them, and they don't worry about it too much. And so I'm not worried. It's like those are my people, and those are who I'm trying to connect with. I'm not trying to change people's minds necessarily who don't have any use for record stores. I realize that there are people who simply download music and never buy music anymore, but I think they're really missing out on something. I think they're having kind of a superficial relationship with their music, whereas it's like, what can I say? They're just people who aren't gonna. It's like there are people who aren't going to go to a vegetarian restaurant either. It's like you could be the best vegetarian restaurant in the world, and you're not going to. These meat and potatoes people aren't going to come there probably. So it's kind of, they're lost to me already. So they're definitely easier businesses if you just want to make money. It's about the community more than, obviously I want to sell things and stay in business, but that's why a lot of people come in here. It's not just about buying something. Some people come in here and grab something and walk out and leave, but a lot of times it's about talking and socializing, and it's a community. It's a little community.